I'm sure y'all are probably sick of seeing my face and hearing my voice, but you know, I kind of do these videos, I do these videos to put myself out there and to let anybody know that's still struggling or suffering, that they're not alone, that if they need to talk, you know, I'm here, whatnot. All of my past videos have either been about being a drug addict or being a self-harmer. I've never done one about being an alcoholic or alcoholism, and truth be told, that was my first vice. I was a raging alcoholic before I ever even knew what dope was. You know, I could drink a half a gallon of rum every single day by myself on top of social drinking, you know, and I did this for 4 years straight. And when I got arrested, you know, I had no choice but to sober up. And when I got out of prison the first time, I had no desire to drink, so I just never picked it up, and I stayed sober for 2 years. And this past January, this New Year's Eve, you know, I thought, it's been 2 years, I can have a drink and it'll be fine, right? And I mean, technically it was. I drank that night and I didn't touch it again for a couple of months. Well, maybe a month. And I drank tequila, and you know, all hell broke loose. I turned into a freaking maniac, you know, and that's what alcohol does to me. You know, it's not a fun thing. You know, I get drunk, I black out, I fight everyone. And so I quit drinking again, you know, and a couple of weeks ago we had some friends come in town, you know, and we drank a beer or two here with them, you know, but nothing major. And when they left probably about 12 or 13 beers in the fridge, couple bottles of, you know, little bottles of liquor. And, you know, I thought, oh, this is fine. I'll drink a little. It's totally fine. I've got it all under control, you know. And that's where we as addicts or alcoholics mess up, you know. We're never going to have our addiction, under control. You know, it's always going to be that beast lying in us, you know, just waiting for us to wake it up. And that's what happened, you know. It started off where I had a beer or two, and then that beer or two led to 8, and then it led to one of the little bottles of liquor, and, you know, then I was drunk. And then a couple of days later, it happened again, you know, and I found myself falling back into that pattern, that same routine, you know. And 2 days ago, I finished off what was left in there, you know, the beer and a little bit of alcohol. And, you know, I told my husband, I was like, I'm actually really glad it's gone. I said, I don't have the craving for it so much, but if it's there, I'm going to drink it. Same thing with drugs, you know, if I go around old friends, I'm going to use again. And, you know, that's where I messed up at, is thinking I had this in control. You know, thinking I was bigger than my addiction. While I may be better than it, and while I know myself and as well as everyone around me deserves a clean and sober me, I will never be strong enough to be around it and not